Folks, welcome in. How we all doing tonight? Thank you for being here for the very first episode of Legends of Aurendesia, a brand new fortnightly D&D session series with completely self-contained games every 2 weeks. With a brand new cast of characters and a brand new cast of players every fortnight. Fortnight, exactly. Tonight we are joined by CrubTV, GarbageGhostie, and Sasshages, playing the very first cast of characters that will ever be seen on this series. I'm gonna bring them all in now. We are hanging out in the Discord together. We have been in the Discord for about an hour now, getting things sorted out, and it is officially time. Welcome on in, players. How y'all doing?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
We like Fortnite.
We like Fortnite. I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit. Alright. Now, because this is our first session, we're expecting things to be a little bit janky. But that's fine, because I've thrown together an equally janky session idea. So, hopefully it'll all pan out. Holy shit.
Hey, Chad, if you don't start a hype train, you're cringe. Cringe.
Crisis, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Holy fuck. We
Chad,
like the
don't be
rat.
cringe.
We like the rat, here to cheer them on. Love that. I love the rat. Big fan.
What?
Oh my lord. Colton. Ducks in chat, ducks in chat, ducks in chat. Let's go.
Ducks.
It's duck storm time.
Ducks.
No,
No, that says ducks, that's not ducks.
Elusive, thank you for the gift sub, and y'all have started a hype train. It's already at level 2. Holy shit. We love to see
Chad, I
it.
bet you won't max the hype train.
Oh
Bet
my
you
god.
won't.
Throw that on. Okay, that ought to do it. And... and...
Saw the blink, I'm like, wait a second.
there we go. Okay, USA to China, hello, welcome on in, how you doing? Alright, ladies, gentlemen, and those of us who know better, a few things in case you haven't been on my channel before. Number 1, Black Lives Matter. Number 2, trans people are who they say they are, no questions asked. And number 3, everybody deserves access to the basic essentials they need to live a good, happy, comfortable, and fulfilling life. So, if you hold those kind of values, then you're gonna like it here, and if you don't, fuck off, and never speak to me or my friends ever again. Simple as that.
You can
Crub
suck
dude.
on D's if you don't agree.
Crub
Suck
got the
on
Nook
D's.
shirt. Imagine a Nook shirt.
Imagine.
Do you want to stand up?
Kinda
Give us
cringe.
a spin. Give us a spin.
Because the twirl.
I'm not wearing
Girl,
pants
baby.
right now, so I can...
Not eggs. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I love the name Not Eggs. And Booty Becca, hello. Crub Show Booba.
Sure, alright, fine. Look. If you guys max the hype train, maybe I'll unbutton one more button, yeah?
We'll see what happens. Alrighty. So, I am going to start by giving you a little bit of background into the world that you'll be playing in. This is a world that I've spent the last 2 years developing piece by piece. I started off with a general concept, and then through playing various one-shots and series, I've developed this into a fully comprehensive world, and it is my dream to approach Wizards of the Coast with this one day and pitch this to them as an official campaign setting guide. So I want you all to know that everything that you do in these sessions becomes canon lore for that world. Everything you do has the opportunity to change the course of history for this campaign setting. If you succeed here today, then your characters become legend. If you fail here today, the repercussions will echo on throughout history and change the future of this nation. No pressure. Fluffy Feline, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. So, more than 30,000 years ago, the gods waged war against the elemental titans. The titans, evil and greedy and loving chaos, wanted to plunge all of reality back into elemental energy, raw and pure, chaotically meshing against itself. But the gods sought order. They saw value in the life that had been created and the worlds that existed. And they wanted to preserve that. And so the gods took up weapons against the elemental titans, and the titans fought back just as hard. A war that spanned thousands and thousands of worlds, hundreds of planes of existence. And as that war drew to a close, the gods discovered something terrible. An elemental superweapon. One cannon and one piece of ammunition. They realized that if this cannon were allowed to fire just one time, it would unleash so much pure elemental energy that all of the elemental titans, all of the elementals that had so far been destroyed would be resurrected all at once, restarting the war on their terms. And so the gods dismantled the weapon, but the ammunition was pure elemental energy. It could not be destroyed. With the wisdom that the gods had, they sealed this elemental ammunition, this sphere of pure elemental
From
energy.
Manatee County Fair, Linda Carson, ABC 7. Would you not eat my pants?
With the wisdom that they had, the gods created a world around this elemental energy. And over the centuries, over the millennia, this world would draw the energy from that elemental core, creating a bountiful, beautiful, and lush planet, which is now called Aurendesia. All across this world, portals to the elemental planes open and close freely, leading to freshwater rivers that fall from the sky like rain. Mountains, ever full of fresh minerals, crystals, and gemstones from elemental planes of Earth. A world that is so beautiful and so bountiful, it only makes sense that heroes would want to protect it. And that is where you are. Some 100 years ago, on the land of Krenheim, a war between Goliaths and dwarves took place. And as a result of hundreds of years of war, a large swath of this land was left uninhabitable. The deserts and savanna are swept clean of life, and monsters and elementals have moved into this space, uninterrupted by civilization. Wandering the plains, scraping by for survival, a small clan of goblins, led by Bagdarash Oldboot, a wise goblin chieftain, happened to find a pocket of safety. A small green canyon in the northeastern edge of Krenheim. And they named it Peacegreen. For 3 generations now, the people of Peacegreen have lived here in safety and harmony, able to not just survive, but to live. You're able to grow crops and raise cattle. You're able to find fresh water and fruit. And you are the 3rd generation that's lived here, happily, peacefully, safe, away from the sandworms that cannot burrow through the stone of the mountains around you. Away from the peritons that do not fly here. But recently, a goblin scouting party came across what looked like a team of Goliath construction workers. And following them, your scouts learned that Goliaths from the southern cities have made their way this far into the barren wastelands of the Krenashi Badlands. And they have begun to construct a settlement here. If the Goliaths succeed in constructing a settlement this close to your village, they will find you. And if they find you, and the bountiful place that you've created, your home of Peacegreen, they will exterminate you. The women and children of your village will be slaughtered. The men will be enslaved, or worse. Your village will be razed to the ground. And the Goliaths will take for themselves everything that your ancestors fought to build here. You are the 3 strongest goblin warriors, hunters, and explorers in this village. You are the protectors of Peacegreen. And it is up to you, as ordained by Priestess Baka and Chieftain Oldboot, to drive away the Goliaths and ensure that your land is safe. Let's start off with some introductions. First and foremost, let's go in reverse order for reasons. Sash, could I get you to introduce your character?
Hi, that's me. I'm Sash. I'm introducing my goblin fighter Zaz and his loyal dog that he rides, Barks. His favorite hobbies include, riding around like a lunatic and, just having a good time.
And we love to see it. Ghostie, could I get you to introduce your character?
Hi. I play Poke, who is a Goblin Ranger. And she has a mount who is a giant ferret named Prod. And they just hang out.
I love Poke and Prod. And finally, perhaps the oh, I'm a little quiet. I'm a little quiet, am I? Let's try this. Could I get Crub to introduce the most cursed character of today's episode?
Sure thing. Hello, everyone. I'm Crub. I am playing a character that I spent a lot of time on, a lot of time developing, a lot of time really put thought into this character because it's a really deep character. There's a lot of, there's a lot of facets to his personality. His name is Gablussi. He was born in the goblin real estate market, right? And kind of lives off his parents' bounty. And he's not very good at real estate, so he decided to take up roguehood. And you wouldn't really expect him to be good at it, but he's weirdly good at it. But he's really impulsive as a spender, so all the money he makes goes right into buying things to chase goblin girls. And he just kind of lives from his parents' money. He's kind of a trust fund kid. But, he makes it work.
Ladies, gentlemen, and those of us who know better, welcome Gablussi to the team.
Oh.
We love to see it. Not Gobbled Trump Jr.
Can I change my name?
Not Gobbled. Oh, I hate it here.
It's so funny.
I love it. Oh, Grim, I'm so much more proud of that than I should be. We love to see it. We love to see it. So, folks, this is the premise of today's story. Can I just say quickly, thank you to Chatty Lee, Phobo Baggins, Fezraptor, Katsumi Arselittle for the follows, as well as Marlavore, Booty Becca, Fluffy Feline, Not Eggs, and thank you to everybody for that hype train earlier for all of the bits and subs. I love and appreciate you guys. God, who is this? VOTV, thank you for the follow as well. And Cruz, baby, hello, good morning. It is so good to see you. Oh my lord. So, with that being said, I'm going to test out the one last screen that probably doesn't have audio input. Let's take a look. It does. It does have audio input. We love to see it. Can you please not colonize my home? I mean, we'll
From
see.
Manatee County Fair.
Oh God, Linda Carson.
ABC 7. Would you not eat my pants?
We love to see it. Folks, what you see before you is the land of Krenheim. Krenheim is home mostly to dwarves and Goliaths. All of the quote-unquote settled regions of Krenheim are split between Goliaths and Goliaths and dwarves living in an uneasy but strangely effective alliance. The Goliaths construct buildings above ground while the dwarves dig deep below the desert and deep below the mountains. And together they've created one of the richest civilizations in all of Aurendesia. Alright, I'm gonna try something real quick. I want to see if I can make this work. Won't be a second. Let's see if this works. Alright, it doesn't look like it's working. Sash, can you say words?
Hello?
No, that's not working. That's a shame.
The browser source I sent you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's alright, I probably have to set something up on my side. TC's casting a spell, it takes a full round action. It does. So, let's jump straight into it. It is early morning in the small and beautiful glade of Peacegreen. The three of you have been charged with your mission, and today is the day. You've all woken up and taken some time to prepare yourselves. Taken some time to think about what you would like to bring with you and who you will need to speak to make that happen. Let's just zoom on in here. Poke, Zaz, and Goblassi, which I still cannot say without laughing. The three of you have woken up in your peaceful and beautiful town. What would you like to do with the beginning of your day?
What do you get? What y'all think we should do? Thoughts? We got shit to do. So what? How the fuck we get ready?
Well, you know, I gotta feed my dog first thing, take him for a walk. But after that, we can settle things out then, you know.
All right. Yeah, you got food at the house. You need me to grab something for you?
Yeah, actually, just any meat. Doesn't matter what. Just
Yeah. I can pick up some for the trip too. Yeah. That sounds good.
yeah.
I can go over to. I think that it's Big Rat that sells the meat, or is that Big? You think Big Rat has meat?
Big Rat does in
definitely.
fact have meat.
All right, I'm gonna go get some meat. I'm gonna go have Big Rat give me some meat. All right, I'm gonna go get some meat.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back.
All right. God bless you. As you approach Big Rat, the hunter. Why does Goblassi sound like my papa? Who knows? As you approach Big Rat, the hunter, he looks you up and down, beady red eyes poking out from under a fur-laced leather hood. He spits a black gob of saliva onto the ground at his feet, cracks his neck, and wanders toward you.
So you're the big shot today, huh? You and your little pack of friends.
Yeah, you know, they done told us we gotta go kill some fucking, I don't know, some big fuckers. Anyway, I came on over because I heard you got some meat. I would like to patronize your business to prepare for our journey.
I got meat. You want preserved or fresh?
Can I get a mix from? We're gonna take some down to our friend's dog, and we'll give that to him today. And the rest, I think we need preserved. So give me like a third fresh and like 2/3 preserved, please. Some
Easy.
extra vittles. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. Say, you're gonna be heading out to the Goliath camp, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what they call them, or I don't know. I just always call them big fuckers, but yeah, that's what the goblin leaders or whatever the hell called them. I don't know. I don't know. They just tell me the shit to do. I just kind of listen, you know.
I have a favor to ask you.
Hey, yeah, sure, brother. What you got?
Well, it's not about what I got, more about what I want.
Okay. I mean, yeah, most of the time, yeah. What's up? Yeah,
Rumor has it that these big fuckers that you speak of, they've got some shiny weapons. Big spears and hunting knives. I'd very much like to add those to my collection. You bring me back 3 of their hunting knives, and it's free meat, all you can eat, for the next month or 2. Sound good?
Oh, next month or 2. All right, let me make a proposal, brother, because that does sound good. However, I don't know where we will end up on this journey we are taking, so it might be a little bit inconvenient for me to come back here often to get meat. So how about I make you a proposal, because I also like shiny things. How about I give you the 3, right? I take half my payment in meat, and then you throw some coin my way as well. Kind of like a transaction kind of thing, you know?
Sounds good to me. So long as I get the Goliath weapons, that's all I care about.
All right, yep. I don't really ask much questions. I don't know what you're going to do with them. Hopefully nothing too nefarious, but none of my damn business. Anyway, that's a good deal, brother. Sounds good. Let's see. What do you think a fair price for 3 of them is?
I would be willing to part with 30 shinies.
It's 10 each. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Then half the, then we'll do what you said, a month or 2 of free meat. So how about a month of meat, a month of free meat, plus the 30 shinies? Is that a good deal, brother?
Perfect. Just bring me the knives.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, you are a good negotiator, sir. All right, I will be off with the meat that you have given me today. Thank you, sir. Here's your payment, and I'll hopefully see you soon, as long as one of them doesn't squish me like one of them bugs.
Stay alive, don't get pasted.
I'll do my best.
What a cunt.
Big Rat makes his way back to the watchtower, where he sits up on a very ramshackle, kind of wobbly bench with a bow that's much, much too large for him. It's essentially a ballista by size contrast. And you have your rations for the road. A bag dripping with fresh meat inside. Just a Hessian sack, leaving a trail of blood droplets on the ground and slimy blood running down your back. And another sack of salted rations. Basically jerky of assorted desert animals. There's some camel in there. There's some fish in there. You're pretty sure some of this is bird, and some of it is a purple color that suggests to you it may even be sandworm. But I do
love me some sandworm.
You have rations for the road.
Howdy, folks. I got you your fresh meat for the dog, and I've got some extra shit for the road in case we get hungry on the way, at least for a little bit. I made a deal with old Scary Mouth over there about him giving us free meat for like the next month or so. We just gotta bring him 3 of the big ass swords from them golems or whatever the hell he called them. I don't know, the big things.
Yeah, the Goliath guy.
Yeah, 3 of them, so 1 each. I feel like that's fair, and we can split the money and the meat if that's all right with y'all. I figure it'd be easier, split up the work.
Yeah, just, carrying it may be a problem considering our size, but, I guess we'll make do.
Yeah, we could bring them back one at a time, all 3 of us maybe hold it like like we moving a couch, sorta.
Oh, like a teamwork exercise or something like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. You ever move furniture into your buddy's house? And he usually just pays you with pizza, but it'll be like that, but we get actual money this time, and it'll be kind of cool,
You know what? That don't sound too bad, having money for once.
Hey, here you, brother. All right. What you think? What you think over there, Poke?
Oh, Ghostie, I think you're muted.
Poke, I think you're muted.
You are muted.
Poke, are you gaslighting us right now? Moving your mouth but not saying shit? Poke likes to mess around. It's all right, folks. Oh, there we go. Poke. Oh.
Yeah, no, me.
Wait, it's like.
Hello?
Oh god.
What?
It's having trouble picking up your voice because it's so high. It's like when Chris screams, Discord's just like, no.
Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds fine to me.
Alright, that was easy enough. Alright, so, should we grab anything else? I mean, I got my shit. Y'all want anything to go get yourselves so I can wait here?
Can I see that bag of rations?
Yeah, sure thing, brother. Here you go.
Alright, cool. Oh god, it's got sandworm in here. I hate sandworm. Okay, you can.
It's alright, I love
keep that.
sandworm. I'll eat the whole damn thing. It's alright.
It's a weird
You know,
aftertaste. I'm not really into it.
For a goblin, I am extremely picky with my food. I cannot explain it.
So Poke, as a ranger, you would know that most cuts of meat from a sandworm contain paralyzing toxin. And while Big Rat is an expert hunter, he's not an expert butcher. So some of the cuts of meat in this bag are probably suspect, to say the least.
Okay. Is that meat gonna contaminate the rest of it?
It might.
Let me just, I don't know, should we, like, smell it or something and see if it's, like, poisonous?
Can I like separate out the sandworm meat and sniff the rest of it to see if it smells funky?
It all smells a little funky.
Oh!
Oh,
It's just
You know
extra
what?
spice. Y'all are being too sensitive. I swear to God, goblins is too sensitive these days.
Hey, you know what we could actually do with this? We could probably just feed these to the big guys when they're not looking, like, if they got, like, food or something, just, like, throw it in there sometime. I don't know, goblin stuff. That just shrug.
how did okay, we'll try and disguise purple meat.
I mean, if they got, like, a soup or something, just, like, dunk it in there or something while they're not
Soup,
looking. I mean, we're
gotcha.
small, right?
Good soup, got it.
Yeah, right. That don't sound too bad.
Okay. That sounds like a plan. I just gotta go get Prod.
This is crazy. Who would willingly and unsuspectingly drink something purple?
Okay. So Poke is gonna wander off and find Prod.
We love to see it. Sash talks like he isn't actually a goblin, like he has some other race just trying to fit in. Which is funny, because Sash is the most goblin of everyone here.
I'm definitely a goblin.
It's one of them new age goblins. I don't know. Weird. They got some weird behaviors.
So as you're all making your final preparations, Poke returns with Prod. The suspect meat has been separated from the regular meat. And Priestess Baka walks toward you, a crotchety, ancient goblin. While a goblin's lifespan is normally at most 30-35 years, Baka simply refuses to die and is pushing 50. Her cheeks hang low as jowls from her face. Whatever bone structure she has is lost beneath folds of ancient paper-thin skin. She's a sickly pale green compared to the deep, rich forest green of most of her people. And she has long, tangled and matted white hair, as well as very obvious long hairs sprouting from her chin and nostrils. As she makes her way over, leaning hard on her cane, she frowns, looks over all of you, smiles a little at Poke, but the smile that manages to make its way through the wrinkles looks more like a demonic sneer than anything else. And then she looks across the three of you.
So, today's the day, is it? You understand the importance of your mission, yes?
Yeah, that's what I'm told. Yeah. Yep.
Yep, sounds pretty good, hot stuff. How you doing today?
Shut up!
Yeah, alright, that's fine.
That level of flattery will get you nowhere with my age and wisdom. Before you go, I have been tasked by the chieftain with providing something of a blessing to each of you. And may the spirits of the valley watch over you. There is a gift that has been provided by His Excellency.
And she begins to rummage around in the thick pelts and furs that she wears. It's far too hot, even here in Peacegreen, where there's a cool breeze through the canyon. It's far too hot here for her to be wearing so many stacks of leather and fur. And she's actively dripping with sweat. She is visibly moist. You can see beads of sweat that have come down her temple, making its way through the ridges of her cheek flaps and tickling the edge of her mouth. It is a sight to behold. And after a moment, she manages to fish something out of her pocket, and as she holds it, the sweat is actively turning the wood a darker color as it soaks in. But she thrusts a hand forward to you, and in it is a wand. A carved wooden wand with an orange amber tip. And fixed inside that amber tip is a glowing orange light.
This is from the personal treasury of Master Oldboot. He would like you to take it. If I have heard correctly, it is a wand of pyrotechnics. It makes the big shiny happen.
Shiny.
Big shiny, give it here! Give it here!
And she does hand over the wand of pyrotechnics to you. The wand of pyrotechnics is a mystery to most goblins. It is something that most goblins won't have encountered before. But to put it simply, it has 7 charges, and with each charge expended, it creates a harmless burst of multicolored light at any point you can see within 60 feet. It's accompanied by a crackling noise that can be heard up to 300 feet, and it recharges at dawn. To put it very, very simply, you have acquired a wand that creates fireworks.
So, what in the hell does this thing do, anyway?
Try it.
Try it out.
Point it up, though.
Yeehaw! And as you flick the wand, it sends a sparkle of light up into the air. Flies up 60 feet and then hovers there for a moment. There is a tremendous crash as sparkles in blue and violet and green rain down from the point of impact. Prod freaks out a little and hides his enormous head under Poke's legs, actively lifting her off the ground as he does.
It can do that up to 7 times. Don't overuse it or it will explode.
Will the explosion be cool?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, just in case it did explode, like, how would it be, like, technically speaking?
It would probably be pretty cool, yes.
Hell yeah, alright. We got ourselves a boomstick.
She rubs a hand down her face, and as she does, her wrinkles kind of jiggle about as they're released from the pressure, and a wave of moisture comes off on her hand.
Oh!
She extends her hand out to Goblosi to shake. And as she grabs his hand, it is the wettest sound you've heard. Like a fish being tossed on pavement.
I would like to move to give her a kiss on the hand.
It's salty. It's so salty.
Just watching an abject horror.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. It's pretty damn cool.
She is dripping fermented seawater at this point. Her oldness, her age itself is distilled into this.
Oh.
something roll constitution, basically. But with that, Baga waves her staff through the air, mutters some druidic incantation, and a gentle breeze rolls across the three of you. She has bestowed a protection upon you that protects from heat exhaustion for the next 3 days.
Okay.
May you wander the desert and live to wander home.
What's that mean?
Don't get pasted.
Alright, I'll do my best.
Heard that one from Big Rat.
She nods to herself as she makes her way back to her tent. And with that, you are left to your own devices.
Got a feeling we shouldn't get pasted this week. Anyone else pick that vibe up, or just me?
I think getting pasted's a bad thing. That's the impression I've been given anyways.
It's nodding along quickly.
I would agree.
So where are these Goliaths at anyways? It's just, I'm kind of living day to day right now. I don't know what's going on. Been in a daze. Just, I guess we should get to it, right?
Yeah, I'd agree. You got room on that big long weasel thing for all three of us there, Poke?
I guess you could sit on Prod with me, but he's not really fond of strangers.
Well, he better get damn used to it, cause I ain't walking the whole way out there. Let's get him used to it, and let's head on out, cause my feet are delicate. I just got a pedicure, so I would like to make this a bit of an easy expedition. Yeah.
I love this. Okay. Not with the flip-flops, says Booty Backer.
Hey, y'all ain't even got shoes on. How the hell y'all gonna walk? What you mean?
That's why he's wearing flip-flops, is for the nail polish, you know? You don't want to wreck it.
You don't want to wreck it.
Don't want to wreck it.
So as you make your way down toward the gates, with Goblosia and Poke atop Prod, and Zaz atop your own mount, a warg, if I'm not mistaken.
A wolf, yes.
You encounter the two guards of the town, Huaga and Shugi. These are two of the men who first came across the Goliath encampment. Huaga is small even for a goblin. He has a mohawk trimmed short down the center of his head and very long ears that droop at the edges, weighed down by a number of piercings made of bone and metal. He has a long nose and a very large hatchet, which he has punched holes in and then affixed various teeth into the holes. It's actually less sharp with the teeth, but it's more pointy, and more pointy means more better. The other god, Shugi, is covered in sand-colored robes. He blends in with the desert. He blends in with the stone. And under his thick armor made of pelts and sand-colored materials, he is covered in throwing knives. He excels at hiding and killing from afar. As you approach, Huaga makes his way toward you with a wide grin.
I sure am glad I'm not you.
Yeah, why the hell do you think they ain't chose you?
I'm not very clever.
Same here. Hey, dude, same mindset there. It happens. But I don't know. I guess they think I'm smarter than you. But that's all right. You look like more of a badass. So, I respect it. You look like a hard worker, brother.
My game is to hack and to slash and to kill. But in this particular instance, killing is less the mission and making go away peacefully, which is not... I like to stab.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see where that comes from. Yeah, well, I guess it's good to have you around here then, yeah?
Yeah, if there's anything to carve up, I'll do it.
Well, I'll keep you in mind next time I need a good cut of meat. That gentleman over at the meat shop, he's a nice feller, but I don't know, this meat's a little sussy that we got from him, so maybe I'll just bring a big old slab over to you next time, yeah?
I keep telling you, Goblercy, I keep telling you.
He claps a hand down on your shoulder.
Big Rat is not a butcher. He does not sell meat to anyone but you.
Well, look, I don't know. Look, I'm a man of routine. It's difficult for me to choose a different place. I'm a loyal customer, all right? I want to make sure that Big Rat is able to maintain his business and his livelihood. You know what I mean? I feel bad.
I feel bad, too. You're the one eating rotten sandworm.
Well, we disagree.
At this point, Shugi makes his way over to Poke.
You're the intelligent one here, yes?
That might be up for debate, but yeah, sure.
It's alright, don't be modest. I've made you a map.
Oh, thank you.
Shugi hands over what appears to be animal hide that has been dried and treated. And then, using hot coals from a fire, a map has been roughly burned into it. That map shows approximately the shape of Peacegreen. You can sort of make it out. And it also shows the surrounding area down to Ruin's Teeth and over toward Warscar. Warscar is a tremendous crater left behind by the war between Goliaths and dwarves. It's said that this was the point of impact that caused the Krenashi Badlands to dry out and become uninhabitable. Ruin's Teeth, a set of what were previously mountains, were shaved down by the impact to the point where now they are little more than stalactites and karsts, reaching up out of the desert like fingers, and everything beyond there is sand. Piles and piles of sand, enormous dunes that have swallowed up entire cities. Beneath the sands there are ruins filled with one can only dream. But that land is mostly unexplored and incredibly dangerous. As you make out what you can from Shugi's map, you find that the Goliaths have set up the beginnings of their camp in a set of ancient ruins to the west of Peacegreen, just on the other side of a mountain, only a day's walk from here. If they set up a settlement there, they will easily find you. The ruins will provide the base for buildings, so their work is already half done for them. Shugi also has scribbled a rough path on the map. It looks like the settlement is here, and the road on which the Goliaths are bringing supplies curves around the Warscar. You now know the route that the Goliaths are using to transport goods to and from their settlement. Crisis, can I ask what kind of item you would like the guards to provide to the party? If you don't have any ideas, I do.
Do we know if the Goliaths have like caravans or are they solo?
To the best of your knowledge, the Goliaths come in groups of 6 to 8 at a time, hauling large carts through the desert with the help of horses and donkeys.
Do we know how long it takes for them to travel from where they originally are to the camp that they're trying to build up?
So each one of these squares is a half a day's travel.
Okay.
Meaning that if they were to be setting off from this village here, it would take them 20 days, roughly.
Okay.
20 days slogging through the Badlands, at risk of exposure to giant sandworms, heart-eating peritons, all manner of terrifying beasts. And you can cut them off a day before they reach their camp, easily.
Turn to the group and exclaim, "Haunted caravan! We just convinced them that it's haunted so they don't live there."
Do we know how to communicate with them? Do they speak common?
To the best of my knowledge, they speak Dwarven and Goliath. Giant speak.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna do any convincing then, unless do one of y'all speak one of them languages? Cause I'm a simple goblin. I like to speak the homeland language.
No,
That's about all I know.
I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, hold on. We need planning. So haunted is a plan. I was just thinking sabotage the road.
Yeah, or we just make it so inconveniently uncomfortable to come over here that they just don't want to do it anymore. Just be a pain in the ass.
I feel like we're very good at that.
Yeah.
I
But
may be able to help with this. One moment.
Shugi scurries off into the town, kind of hopping from one foot to the other as he runs, and then throws open the doors to a large facility, the biggest building in all of Peacegreen. You hear a yelp, a woman going, "Wah!" And then an explosion, and smoke begins to billow out of the door. Pella the Scavenger makes her way out, wiping soot off her face. But it looks like she's been working with something that uses black oil, and so she simply smears black oil into the soot and creates a paste that seals one of her eyes shut. She turns around, and as Shugi is making his way out of the building, coughing on the smoke, she belts him across the head with a wrench.
Get up. What do you want? I'm terribly sorry. One of the... What is this? What are you doing? What is this? One of the spyglass, you idiot.
Pella makes her way back into the building and emerges with an old-looking wooden spyglass. What's the word? Collapsible and
Telescopic.
Thank you. Telescopic spyglass. She thrusts it into Shugi's hands and then kicks him in the backside as he makes his way out.
And next time, knock!
Before she slams the door closed.
Oh, I'm gonna go knock on the door.
After a moment of shuffling around, Pella opens the door and she's wiping down her eye and wiping the soot and oil off of her face with a rag.
Yes, dear.
That sticky stuff on your face, do you have more?
More oil? Yeah, plenty. Do you want it fresh or used?
I don't care.
Used.
Gross. Give it gross. Give me gross.
Give you gross. Well,
Pella makes her way back into the shed, and as Shugi hands the spyglass over to Zaz, Pella hands a large bucket of used machinery oil to Poke.
Do we have something more portable, maybe?
I do have something I've been working on, if you're interested.
Sure.
Now, Pella the Scavenger is well known throughout Peacegreen as being the smartest and the most reckless of all the goblins. She is the reason that the goblins of Peacegreen have running water and doors that can lock. However, she's also the reason that the back end of Peacegreen Valley is no longer inhabitable, and that 3 of the mines have collapsed. She hands you what looks like a water skin, but as large as a backpack and with 2 straps and a clasp to go over your shoulders. It has a hose attached to it. And attached to the other side is a cord with a pair of bellows on it.
This is... I call this a waterer. And you very simply, you put on the backpack and you fill it with the liquid. I was thinking water. And then you put the bellows on the ground and you just stomp on it like this. And when you stomp on it, the water... But you could fill it with gross things, too.
I love it. I love it.
I fill it for you!
And she jams the hose into a large rumbling machine. It looks like an oven, but it's very, very, very large. She throws some coals into the fire, and she begins to crank something on the side of this giant water skin. You watch as it starts to inflate with used machinery oil. The smell is horrendous. It smells of metal, it smells of copper shavings and oil, and there's an almost fungal smell in the air that's mixed in with it. And after a moment, you have a water skin backpack full of oil, a pair of bellows strapped to your hip, and a hose wrapped over your shoulder. You're essentially wearing bagpipes on your back now, with only one hose filled with oil.
This is great. This is perfect.
If you let it catch fire, you will certainly die.
Words of advice, thank you. Appreciated. Much appreciated.
You are much appreciated. Now get out!
With that, you meet up with the rest of your party at the gates, armed now with a spyglass, a wand of pyrotechnics, and Luigi's vacuum filled with motor oil.
Hey, that's freaking cool. What's that on your back over there?
It makes gross stuff come out.
What
It looks like
what
a
kind-
dick.
I wasn't really listening. I just know that I do this thing and then gross stuff comes out, and that fire bad.
What kind of gross stuff specifically? You kind of left and came back with a bag of gross stuff. I say in
like
quotation fingers.
The stuff that she had on her face. It's more of that.
And as this conversation is happening, the smell of motor oil begins wafting from Poke, filling the air around her.
Oh, between motor oil smell and giant ferret stink. Oh, Poke's gonna smell incredible. Incredible.
Not giant ferret stink.
Giant ferret stink.
No,
Ferrets
we
are cute.
could
They're
use
stinky.
it. That's you know what? That's a smart idea.
Use ferret stink.
No, just this, whatever this is in that bag, the stinky stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if we can catch that caravan at night. This would make everything that we're planning even better.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So are we going? Are we leaving now? Is that?
Yeah,
is that
I think so. I mean, I have an idea. So I've been thinking while you were gone. Why don't we cut them off ahead, and maybe we'll like set up something like really spooky for them, like to run into, and we'll have all these theatrics, and we can use that wand to, you know, spook them off or something like that, or whatever. Know what I mean?
Okay. I like it. Thoughts? GarbageGhostie?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'll be honest, I was looking at some goblin ass over there while y'all was talking, but I don't know, it smells like shit over here. So if I don't know, if I was one of them big things, I for sure wouldn't go nowhere near you right now. No offense or nothing, but it smells like real shit. So like, you know, I think it works well.
Well, it's a good thing you're gonna be stuck with me on the back of a giant ferret.
Yeah, I'll just get used to it. You know, I was a circus clown for a little bit over at the Goblin Circuitorium, and you know, we had some other giant ferrets before that shat like you would never seen in your life, and I got kind of used to it after that. So you know, I think we'll get over it. I'm ready to get going. I'm ready to get wheeling. If y'all is,
I'm in.
Let's get wheeling.
All right. The three of you, valiant goblin heroes, begin to make your way out into the desert beyond Peacegreen. It is hot. It's arid and dry. But the blessing that Baga has put on you keeps you cool. It wraps you in a soft, cool breeze, and you begin to make your way southwest of Peacegreen. As you do, you can see birds circling in the sky, vultures picking at carcasses in the distance. You can see cracks in the ground, not just cracks where the ground is dried, but cracks in the ground where the long-lasting effects of whatever cataclysmic magic was used that turned the Kranashi Badlands into what it is, has scarred the earth forever. In the south, you can see the jagged peaks of Ruin's Teeth. And far, far to the west, several days' travel from here, you can see the lifted lip of the War Scar, a distant plateau. There are a few places to hide. The plains are open, dry, cracked. You can see clearly for miles around you, apart from the desert haze. You begin making your way to the west along the foot of the mountain. As you walk out into the Badlands, Poke, being an experienced ranger, instructs Prod to wave his tail back and forth, clearing your tracks behind you as best he can. And you head toward where you have been told the Goliaths pass through. Can I get investigation checks from everyone, please?
Yeah.
That's a 14 from Sash. A 20 from Ghostie.
am I rolling a d20 for that?
Oh, all you have to do is open your character sheet and then find investigation in your skills list and click on it.
Investigation. Wait, that's not right. That's definitely not right. 1 sec. Learning.
1 sec learning.
1 sec learning. Please hold.
That's
there
okay.
we go.
I'm updating my stream deck as we speak. Because I've just realized that it would be beneficial to have the map visible on this screen as well, over place of my camera. So I'm setting my stream deck up to toggle that on and off. That's
Learning.
12 from Crub. So the highest is the 20 from Ghostie. So Poke has the highest investigation here. Poke. While both you and Zaz are able to locate the the tracks from the Goliath caravan, deep troughs of cart wheel marks and footprints, as well as the distinctive hoof prints of horses and donkeys, you also notice something else. Something that worries you a little. As you look over the surrounding area, you notice that some of the range around you is higher than the rest. Some of the ground is raised. And as you stray from the path for a little bit, and you investigate these raised pieces of ground, you notice they form a line, curving back and forth. A sandworm has passed through here very recently. A giant purple worm, one of the most dangerous creatures in the Badlands. A carnivorous worm that grows as large as 60 or 70 feet long, wide enough to swallow a house, capable of spitting a spray of toxic acid up to 50 or 60 feet. They say from beneath, this creature burrows and devours. They cannot see, but they can feel tremors on the ground for up to a mile away. And they are drawn. They are drawn to disturbances. They are drawn to footsteps and cart tracks, or anything that shakes.
Interesting. Can I tell when this worm passed through?
Give me a survival check.
Okay.
You can. Looking at the cracked soil under the raised ground, you can tell that this hasn't been exposed to sunlight for too long. It hasn't had time to dry out completely, and so this giant worm traveled through here last night. It's only about 11 a.m. And you know this worm traveled before dawn's light. So sometime in the last 12 hours or so.
Okay. Well, sandworms, not great, but also maybe good? Maybe? I think, if we're enough of a nuisance, we could, like right here. Can I tell if they seem to stick to a very specific path? If the Goliath caravan tends to stick to a specific path as they walk along, or is it kind of a little bit all over the place?
As you investigate further and further, looking up and down the path, you take about 20 minutes to backtrack along the path, and you see something sticking out of the ground. It's a large metal pipe with a flag attached to it. And when you look around, you take a moment, think to yourself, Goliaths are taller than you. And so you have Prod stand up in his hind legs. You stand on his head. And from a Goliath's height, you can actually see the next flag in both directions.
Oh.
They follow these flags to keep on path in case the sudden flash floods and rains in the Badlands wash away their tracks.
Oh. Okay, so they use these flags to tell them where to go. What if we move the flags and then we set a trap?
I like what you're thinking. We just lead them to Mr. Worm, and then we create a ruckus, and then, you know, they start shaking things up, and then we just have to sit back and do nothing. It's the perfect job.
I think it's a good idea. I've always wanted to ride one of them worms too. So maybe we get lucky. The worm fucks up the centaurs or whatever the hell, and then I can that thing. I hop on it and give her a ride. I think that'd be a good addition to the old circus. I'm still a fan of the circus. I think having a worm around might be good for business.
Yeah, count me out on that. But you know, the other thing I like that. You know, why don't we do that, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, it would also be a good idea to get the worm because we need those them sword thingies that old rat face wants, and we could take those back on the worm. We could ride the worm all the way back to home.
What do you think about that, Pope?
I'm not convinced, but you do you.
Look, if y'all don't want in on the business venture I am proposing, that is completely fine. I will just have more profits for myself.
Yeah, I get it. More worm real estate for yourself. Yeah, that's completely understandable.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I've just had a thought.
Worm estate. Oh. Okay.
I'm just gonna quickly throw on my my GarbageGhostie cosplay here.
Oh no.
It's you know, just there we go. Just need a little bit of spray tan, and I think it would be perfect. You know.
Hell yeah, brother! You look just like me.
There we go. Yeah. This is GarbageGhostie Senior.
The real estate mogul.
Yeah.
That's my pawpaw.
That's your pow. Gobbled Trump. Yes. Vote 1 gobbled.
People. Okay. Well, I will be in the back row at your circus show, but I think the moving of the flags is the way to go.
Oh yeah, I was just talking about afterwards. You got a good baseline. I was just trying to profitize on the outcomes. But you guys do all the planning and shit. I'll make it work at the end.
We love to see it.
Okay. All right. So, which way did the sandworm head?
All right. You take a little bit of time to try to figure out the sandworm's path. And it looks like the sandworm has crossed over the path in this direction, but when it hit the rough terrain near the war scar, it has doubled back. And then after hitting the heavy stone of Peacegreen, it's doubled back again and headed toward Ruin's Teeth.
Okay. And where are we exactly?
Right now, you are right here, where everything crosses over.
Okay. So it's headed, I'm gonna guess south from our direction?
It looks like it's headed in a southeasterly kind of direction.
Okay. what do you guys think? Should we head towards the sandworm? Should we head somewhere else? I don't really like the idea of going near a sandworm, but I know GarbageGhostie is very keen on meeting a sandworm.
I mean, yeah, sandworm. That's gonna be MVP if you ask me. We can get him to hang around. Well, we basically don't have to do anything. Why don't we just like go down south a little bit, make a bunch of sound, and we get our little goblin feet out of there and just see what happens. Entice the worm. See if we can't keep it around for a bit till the big boys come around.
Definitely play with the worm a little bit. I've always been a fan of playing with my worm. And I think that if it does cause us any issues, I can handle it. I'll keep it occupied. I've been a fan of eating sandworm for a long time now. I've had many experiences with real hunters as they are taking down sandworms, so I'm really not too concerned. I know how they act. I can communicate with them. Trust me, it'll be all right.
In light of GarbageGhostie enticing the worm and playing with his worm, I would just like to remind everybody that if you would like to clip your favorite moments of these streams, that will really help me out in future promotional videos and promoting events like this. It'll help to keep the series running. So remember, clip your favorite moments, especially the ones that make Crub look like Crub.
Okay. Well, I'd rather you didn't play with your worm in public, but okay.
Yeah, I got in trouble with that one before. Yeah.
I absolutely believe that. Zaz, you have the looky thing, yeah?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. It's right here. Just fumble for it.
Alright, where are you pointing that bad boy?
South.
As you point the spyglass to the south, and with Poke guiding you on what you're looking for, you can see the sandworm tracks heading southeast toward Ruin's Teeth. And in the distance you see a disturbance in the ground. Looks like a sinkhole.
Oh hell yeah! There it is. Hey, I got an idea. Hold on. Look at this. I'm gonna pull out the wand. What if I shoot this thing here in the air? We probably get the big boys coming from that direction, and then the worm coming from this direction. If I wave this thing around a couple times, what y'all think?
I mean, go ahead, Poke.
Do we even know if there are any Goliaths on the way?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you could see any.
Oh yeah, I guess we should look around.
Why don't we also look for a place that we can jump? The best way to get a hold of a sandworm is to come out of hiding. So why don't we look for a hiding spot as well?
Okay.
And then I can bust.
Oh my god.
Can we please hold off on the busting until the Goliaths are here?
All right, I'll hold it for now.
One sec, busting.
What?
Busted makes me feel good. Let's okay. So yeah, Zaz, can you see if there are any if there are actually any Goliaths coming, or if we're just gonna be sitting here?
Let's just look in the distance, see if they're heading our way. I think our best chance would be at night to make a whole debacle of this. I mean, we could just like spray some of that smelly stuff all over the place, maybe light it on fire, cause a Goliath-sized stampede. Maybe, it causes a bunch of tension for the worm, and we just kind of watch. We don't have to do anything.
We wait before we use the shit. We got like what? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a couple charges on this here wand thing. Why don't we use that and then save the shit for when they actually, in case we get in a pickle. You know what I mean? We got a limited amount of that, so. I think we use it as a defensive device.
Yeah. I think we were just gonna move the flags to get them where we wanted them to go.
Yeah, And then we'll shake them up a bit. You know, maybe we can even set something on fire with the wand, get them moving even a bit more. It'll be easy if we're smart about it. If we're smart. I hope we're smart.
All right. Well, in the meantime, while you look for them big boys, I'm gonna look for us a hiding spot to kind of kick around at while we after we spray the shit or the bust the wand or whatever we decide to do.
Yeah. Okay. Rocks, please. Look for rocks.
As you start looking around, there are a number of large rocks, huge boulders, half submerged in sand, some others leaning against each other. You're able to find a large rocky outcrop, and in particular, Poke, you know that sandworms cannot burrow through solid stone. And so if you're sitting atop rocks, you are safe from the sandworm, theoretically.
Theoretically. Gotcha.
When you climb up on top of the largest rocky outcrop, Zaz, you're able to look around and see for a very far distance with your spyglass. You don't see any Goliaths in the distance. There don't appear to be any visible from where you are. But you do get a view of the sinkhole. As Poke goes around maneuvering rocks and boulders and making a hiding place for you, Zaz, you're able to see down into the sinkhole from where you are. And what you see is not a sandworm nest. Instead, what you see is the ruins of a city. The ruins of a Goliath city pulled under the sand by the cataclysm, and then set in place as the sand and the clay have changed over the years. There's a massive crater, and you can see the walls of buildings and structures, broken off pieces of road, sticking out of the walls in every direction, and scuttling across them, not a sandworm, but hundreds of Ankeg.
Oh.
Ankeg are one of the terrors of the desert. Enormous ants, each one larger than a bison.
Friggin' hate ants.
Their mandibles are large enough to cut a horse in two with a single bite, and they can spray acid up to 30 feet ahead of them. A single Ankeg would be capable of tearing through a protected carriage and taking out a small group of soldiers. The sandworm appears to have burrowed close to the Ankeg nest and then turned away. It's headed north again from here. And as you look into the distance, you can see the sandworm's tracks heading east from where you are until it hits the edge of Ruin's Teeth. That's where you see a tremendous mound, an enormous pile of sifted sand and boulders. And sitting atop of that mound, 8 eggs, each one as large as a person. You found the sandworm nest.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. You think we can get one of them up on your ferret? We make so much goddamn money when we get one of those back to the village and sell them. Oh, I can't even. Can you think of the omelet that Rat would make with that? Rat would make a massive omelet. We get so much damn money. I swear to God, we got to take that back now. Can we, you got room on that ferret? Come on now. Come on, let's go.
We don't have time. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that.
All right, look, how much is the government paying us for this job? Huh? Huh? I mean, the government, unless they're gonna be giving me.
I don't think nobody told me I was getting paid. It was
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
a, hey, we have to do this or we're all gonna die sort of thing.
Look, the survival of the fittest, love. I think that it is imperative for us to look out for our own best interests. Screw the village. It don't matter. All right, people can do it. You know, they're gonna die anyway. At some point, why don't we try to make some money? You know, in the process.
I think not dying is in our best interest.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I would like to take a bite of the meat and game, please. From the ration.
Consider it did.
Like I said, I think it's survival of the fittest at the end of the day. And look, eventually, everybody in that village it's kind of a shithole. If you know, my parents sold real estate there for a while. I think it might be time that we move on somewhere else, and we can get big money for that egg. I say we get the egg, we sell it, and we make our way over to Karhalar, big city.
So for the rest of you, you're well and truly aware that if you so much as set foot across the border between the Badlands and the Dwarven and Goliath cities, you will be exterminated as a pest race. Instantly. You will be pasted by the first citizen that sees you. However, there are some traveling nomadic tribes that exist within the Badlands, mostly monstrous races, and while money itself isn't very useful here, they will barter and trade for valuable objects or spell scrolls or tablets found in the ruins. And so the eggs do hold some value. The problem is that sandworms are capable of tracking by smell, and they will hunt down anything that takes one of their eggs until their dying breath.
Yeah. So, I'd rather not do that. When we're done, if you wanna do that, you do you, and have fun. And, you know what you could do even? You could, like, raise it, and then you can train it
Oh god.
to love you, and then it'll be really good for your circus. But I feel like, we still need to do the thing, with the Goliaths first.
Hey, y'all too worried about the community? Y'all a bunch of community lovers, commies. Fine. I'll let it happen for now. But let me just borrow that ferret for a little while afterward. I'll throw some money your way for it. I mean, I'll compensate you for your time. But yeah, let's make sure we get back here because I'm trying to get over to Karhalar. I know I'm not allowed there, but some of them nomads. They'll sneak you in, and I can live in the back streets. And look, there's a lot of money to be made there. I am pretty good with a sleight of hand, so I think I can make some good money there and live in the sewers. So that's my end goal. So look, just let me borrow it later on, and all right, fine, we got ourselves a deal.
Unfortunately, this is entirely realistic. Unfortunately, this plan is viable.
Okay. If we survive this and we're successful, I will have Prod assist you.
All right, you got yourself a deal.
I hate it here. Okay. So let's. So what do we think? Do we wanna move the flags and over to the big old hole?
Yeah, I mean, it's like we have our options. Like we got the Worm Hill or like the millions of ants. Like pick your poison, I guess.
Can we lead them between and then see what happens?
You know, as much as I'd love to see the outcome of that, I'm also is scared the right word that I'm feeling. I'm not sure.
Interestingly, sandworms and ankegs are natural enemies, and being caught between the two of them would be certain death for anyone within proximity.
I think what is the distance between the sinkhole and the sandworm mound?
Roughly
Squished.
a mile and a half.
Okay. I mean, I could do the flag thing myself. I can do things pretty sneaky, and I can go place a flag. And if it's dark when they come by, I'm thinking we lead them between, and we put the stinky stuff down, and then God bless, you can light it on fire, and it'll let the sandworm know that there's things to do, and then the big ol' bugs will know that there's things to do, and then there'll be a mess.
That sounds a little complicated. How about you go bug the ant things, and I'll go get on the worm, and I'll ride it on back.
There's not many times in life I am at a loss of words. This, you have tried that twice in one day.
You know, I'm a pretty stealthy person. You know, I've been pretty good with. They call me the worm whisperer back at the circus. I enjoyed my relationships with the worms, and I think that I can do a great job riding that bad boy over. I know they're a little wild at first, but you just got to know how to talk to them.
Zaz, do you have you're the tiebreaker here. What are your thoughts? What would you like to do, or if you have an alternate plan?
You know what we can do? Why don't we get as like in between the two of them as possible, and then we just shove that wand in the sand, we start shaking it up, and then we run for our lives when the Goliaths are there. How about that? How about we just run for our friggin' lives? And then we don't look back. We don't think about it anymore. We go back to the village and say it's done. We don't think about it anymore. We don't talk about this day. Just call it a night. All three at once. You know, I think that'll be good.
Well, here's my only concern, all right? So if there's an issue, I have not paid my taxes in several years, and if there is an issue that we do not accomplish this here task successfully, I don't really give a shit about the village falling, but if they find out and I get in trouble, I am not going to jail just for not completing this here task. I am also going to jail for all of those evaded taxes. They're probably going to look into me a little bit deeper. So I would like to observe to see if it's successful or not. And I'm still trying to get that damn worm back to the circus. So I still got some unfinished business here. You guys can run if you'd like, but I think I am going to sit and watch, at least from a distance.
Okay. You know what you can do? So thing goes off in the sand. Worm leaves the nest. Ants go towards the sound too, then you can just go get an egg. Just take it. Leave. Who cares? Right? It's not getting looked at.
That's a big thing. I can't just grab it. I'm gonna need that prod thing.
So to lay this out, if you were to move the flags to lure the Goliaths in between the two nests, spread the oil around that site. You would then be able to use the wand of pyrotechnics to ignite that from anywhere as close as 60 feet.
Yeah, I was thinking from a distance.
If you light it from 60 feet away and then book it, you could get back to this stone structure that you're currently on. And with that being the case, the sandworm would no longer be able to trace the tremors of your steps or burrow toward you. The Ankeg and the Sandworm would likely take care of the Goliaths and then fight each other, giving you a chance to do both, to observe until the Goliaths are dealt with, and then book it and run for your life while the Ankeg and the Sandworms are fighting. So you could theoretically do both.
I just had a great idea.
That only leaves the existing settlement, where there may be more Goliaths waiting and working there.
I just had a great and original idea. How about we put the oil in the center, and then we run on back to this stone structure, ignite it from a distance, and observe. That way, the sandworm can no longer track our tremors, and all that will be left is that Goliath giant settlement there, where there may be more Goliaths. What y'all think of that?
I told you today that I hate you.
I mean, don't we need like one or two of these Goliaths to like go back and like tell a ghost story or something like that? Like, ooh, desert's haunted. Don't go that way. Scary. Ooh, you know. I mean, we could do this all year, just moving the poles all around, just like making their life miserable. But you know, you really gotta set a scene for them. You know, it could just be a coincidence. It could be just any random goblin. No, you gotta make sure it's like scary, right?
So we have to keep one to tell the tale.
Yeah, or two, you know, distract one, maybe poison his food so he has to catch up later or something like that, you know. I don't know, stuff like that.
Or we could play the long game. I got an idea for later on. All right. Once again, we get one of them eggs. We train up that worm, right? We keep them away from now, right? You know, the ants and the worm or whatever the hell being on the path will keep them away temporarily. If I have some time to train up this worm, I can go wipe their village off the face of the earth once I learn how to ride that boy. So thoughts on that?
Well, actually, I have a thing where I can suspend somebody in the air, just one, for a bit. So if we find if we can separate one, I can kind of keep them occupied for a bit, so they can.
How long can you suspend someone?
I can suspend for
Just really quickly, I would like to say thank you, John, so much for the sub bomb. You're amazing. Holy shit, and totally awesome. Thank you for the follow. Woo! Welcome on in. I've got an idea, Crub on a shirt. Can we get that Crub merch that just says, I've got a totally original idea?
And then I should just be in the background like this. So it's basically it just works until they wiggle out.
Oh, all right. So I got an idea. All right. So we really want to keep them away, right? I got something brewing. I had some of that meat earlier, and I do not feel too good. How about you throw me up over them giants, right? As they're fighting the bullworm, I can stay up there as long as I need to, so it should be fine. And I'll shit on them. And there's no way they're coming back after that. It's genius. I trust me, I take some heinous shits, all right? So this is going to be extremely effective. They have never seen anything like this before. I think this is the best idea. I'm willing to put myself in danger to make sure they never come back around these parties. You can look away if you need to. You know, cover your noses. But, I'm about to drop a bomb.
Oh, ladies, gentlemen, and those of us who know better, CrubTV.
Fuck's sakes. I don't even know how to follow. I can't even follow up on that. I don't even.
I'll take your silence as a yes.
Oh my lord.
I can't.
Okay.
Listen, I know we're not gonna settle until we have a horrible hybrid of all of our plans put together. So why don't we pick and choose parts of this strategy so we can come to a conclusion?
ABC7, would you not eat
Oh my lord. Did you all start another hype train based on Crub's idea? Sweet merciful Jesus, guys.
Chat room.
It's an idea train.
Oh.
I love this.
Okay.
Sorry, Sasha's gasping and wheezing is setting me off. Oh my lord. So, assuming we don't go with planned shit bomb, Operation Mega Dookie.
Oh, God.
Well, that's just the icing on the cake. I mean, we can still do the thing we were planning before. You know, while the fire and flames are burning below. It's just a little bit. Again, it's just kind of the
ABC
coup de
7.
grace.
That's just the message you want to send at the end. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, exactly. You like you were saying earlier. You got a good idea. You don't want them. You don't want them big fellas coming back. So, look, I can't. If I got this shit on me, I never come back to this area.
Not
think
Operation Shithawk.
I think that's called adding insult to injury. So okay, well I'm gonna go do the flag thing anyways. I'm just gonna go do that.
Oh my lord.
So Poke is going to cast Pass Without a Trace on herself, and she's going to go pick up a flag and then move it as stealthily as she can in the center of the sandworm and the Ankeg nests.
Okay. Give me a stealth check real quick. And it will take about 3 hours of going back and forth, yanking these metal poles out of the ground, because they're fixed in quite deep, and it comes to your attention as you're doing this that they're actually set into blocks of concrete under the ground. So for each one, you and Prod have to use all of your strength to dig out around it and then drag these by the flag end to get them where you want them and then rebury them. It takes you about 3 hours of solid work to get this done. But when it is done...
I only have 2 hours worth of Pass Without a Trace.
That's okay. So I'll get the one stealth roll, and that will cover the whole period. Incredible. That is a 32.
Yeah.
So that's a 32 with and a 22 without. That's still amazing. As you're doing this, a pack of wild hyenas is making its way past where the Goliath tracks are. And they're sniffing around at the cart trails, sniffing around, looking for essentially what has caused these signs of life. And then their faces scrunch up. They look absolutely revolted as they catch a nose full of ferret stank and motor oil.
Oh.
They whine collectively and they leave. They just peel off to the west like fuck this. And you manage to avoid being found out by the hyenas. As you continue your work, you manage to set up all of the signs, all of the flag posts in the direction that you want. And then you're able to spread your motor oil. You end up spreading it in a very large circle around the last flag. A huge ring of oil ready to be ignited at any moment. With a fuse heading out in a long path of oil toward your rocky outcrop. You can light it from that distance.
That's got to be the best part
Oh
I've
my
ever
lord,
seen.
Crisis.
So it would seem.
You know what? You're right. That is Crub. Oh my lord. And Musical, thank you for the host. Oh my god, Velo, thank you for the gift sub to Mana Brent. Jesus Christ, y'all. Thank you for the hype train. You guys are amazing. And I just want to say this, for a first episode, this is incredible. This is, first of all, so much fun. You guys are amazing to play with. But secondly, the turnout is absolutely huge. So I want to thank everybody for being here real quick. It takes several hours. It takes several hours for Poke to set up this trail of oil. But when you're done, you are able to light this with the Wand of Pyrotechnics from your rocky outcrop, from your point of safety. And you can still see the last flag in the spyglass. It is perfect. Now all that's left to do is wait. As night begins to fall, the savannah and the desert are painted violet There are red clouds in the sky. The sky itself has turned every color of orange and yellow, gold and red, like flames stretching out across the clouds, and every cloud is outlined in bright gold like the sun itself. A red sky in the evening, a sign of clear weather for the next day. And as you watch, you see Goliaths in the distance. A caravan with many more than you expected. There are about 60 Goliaths. There are 4 carriages carrying enormous stacks of wood and stone, tools, hunting equipment, food rations. Huge, huge caravans. And the entire thing is led by a carriage that's painted bright gold and red. Gorgeous. Covered in brass. And they stop before they reach you. They stop about 2 flags before the rocky outcrop. A number of Goliaths get out of the carriages and begin to set up a campfire. A few benches, some tents. They're setting up camp for the night. And out of the carriage at the front step 2 dwarves. One of them is wearing an ornate gambeson, with jewel-encrusted rings and bracelets on all of his fingers, a bald head, and then bright red ring of hair across his ears, and huge beard. His skin is cocoa brown. His nails are painted gold. He wears gold and red and blue, the symbol colors of the dwarven nation of Krenheim. And even from a different race and civilization entirely, you can tell dwarven nobility when you see it. The other dwarf to step out of the carriage is a woman with a bitter face. Dark, dark brown skin, almost black under the night sky, with a dyed white and blue beard, crisscrossed over and braided together, and held in place by white and gold bands. She styled her beard to look like the flag of the dwarven nation of Krenheim. These 2 dwarves are nobility, and judging by the looks of it, the woman is a spellcaster. The Goliaths begin to set up camp, roughly a mile away from the trap point. And as you watch, they begin to set up their camp, they begin to rest. They separate themselves into different tents. And you have the complete element of surprise here. You can wait until morning to lure them into your trap as they continue down the road. But you have a whole night in which you can do anything you like. A whole night for goblin shenanigans. John, thank you for the gift sub, Bon. You're amazing. I love you. Also, I saw your message saying that you desperately want to be in the next one, so I'm gonna DM you afterwards because I thoroughly intend to have you on. And Mother Fluffing Beta, thank you for the follow. As night falls and you are in your element, the element of darkness, what would you like to do?
Well, Zaz, I know you want to do the whole haunted angle, so now's your chance.
Haunted angle. What are Goliaths afraid of?
God, I think there's a way we can do this. Y'all want to hear it?
I'm scared, but okay.
All right. So we got ourselves a double threat here. All right. So Zaz wants to go with the haunted angle, right? So I'm gonna sneak over there. Look, y'all may think I'm sneaky. I'm pretty sneaky. I'm gonna sneak over there, right above their camp. Poke. You're gonna throw me up with that levitation spell or whatever, the flying shit that you do. All right. I'm gonna sit above them.
It's not. You only hang about 5 feet off the ground upside down.
Well, that's not ideal, but I'm still gonna. All right, I think we can still make it work. All right. So how tall is a Goliath?
Goliaths range
Taller than
from
that.
7 to 9 feet tall.
All right. Well, this may not be the best idea, but I'm willing to give it a try. All right. So you can put me upside down, right over their camp, right?
It's not gonna be over. You're literally gonna be 5 feet. You're
Well,
gonna be
they're
5 feet
sleeping.
off the ground.
They're sleeping. It's all right. I'm fast. All right?
But
Right?
you're not
So
fast
put
if
me-
you're dangling upside down.
Well, you said I can just wiggle out, right?
Oh,
I need to.
well, sometimes you can.
So, to explain the mechanics of the spell, Crub, you're familiar with a noose trap that you would use to catch a rabbit by the leg, and it pulls them up into the air and they hang upside down by an ankle? The
Yes.
spell does that, and it
All right,
just
all right.
pulls you 5 feet into the air and you dangle by your foot.
All right. So 5 feet's enough. Are they laying down and sleeping right now?
So a number of them are getting inside tents and getting ready to sleep for the night.
Do they have like a large fire?
They do. They have a large fire in the center of their camp. I don't like where this question's going.
So my thought, right, is I'm gonna have you go put me above the fire, right? You're gonna lift me up there. It's really brewing in me now. It's really
Oh, no.
brewing. I am at the point right? I'm gonna make some ghost noises, right? I'm gonna do some whoop, some of that. And then I'm about to drop the shit bomb. Okay? We'll time it, it'll be perfect. I'll tell you when I'm about to bust. And then they're gonna be disturbed, right? They're gonna be coming out, they're gonna be looking around, they're gonna be like, what the hell's going on? They're gonna see me, right? It's gonna scare them. They're gonna start moving towards the direction of the oil, right? They're gonna move towards the oil that we put over there. And then, Zaz, you're gonna light the fuse. I'll give you the old sweat stick here, and it's gonna let it rip. So they're gonna be between a giant explosion of shit oil and another fiery pile of shit with a ghost over it. And boom, they're never coming back.
It is with great regret that I inform you that the Goliaths have moved a large cauldron onto the fire and began to brew the stew for the night.
Even better.
I know the shit thing is you're super into the shit thing. I personally doesn't do it for me. But everybody has their own thing, and I don't shame. But if it's gonna make you shit yourself, why don't we just put some in their stew, and then they can also shit themselves? I feel like this is something that would appeal to you greatly.
Yeah, so all right. So now they got the stew. This was before the stew had got going. So now this is even better. It's getting better by the minute. So I'll sneak over there. I got good stealth skills. And then I won't even be detected, okay? They're gonna wake up and they'll make their stew, right? They'll make their stew. If I get in trouble, you guys can light the fuse, right? If we absolutely need it. But that way, we don't have to waste the fuse. Because what if the fuse doesn't work in the first place? So now, shit in a stew with what I got brewing, it's over for them. But if we have an emergency and we need a backup plan, we still got that oil over there. All right? Or if we really want to drive it home in the morning, depending if we use it tonight or not. I think that's a great idea. And that way you don't have to use your levitation spell. I can just drop trowel right over the side.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, Goblus's plan is to sneak into the encampment and smuggle some kind of horrible substance into the stew?
You got that right, Inner Self.
Okay. From where you are...
Sorry, go ahead.
From where you are, you can see the Goliaths are largely just doing maintenance on the carts, feeding the stock horses, making sure that the horses are tied down and that the carts are separated from them. They have a huge wealth of supplies here, and the dwarven nobles are being waited on hand and foot. They have a number of attendants who are Goliaths and dwarves alike. You know that dwarves are resistant to poison, and so there's a strong chance that the dwarves won't be affected by whatever poison you put into the stew. They'll likely still be able to travel, but many of the Goliaths would be susceptible, especially the workers who are just common men and women. So this plan is viable, and not many of the Goliaths are actually looking at the stew. It has time to simmer and boil. It's taking its time being brewed. You do stand a chance of sneaking into the camp and planting something in it.
Yes. It's like poison the.
Oh. There's
Ghostie
two of me now. Oop.
Made Ghostie
It's-
leave.
Yeah, Ghostie's Discord does crash out sometimes, unfortunately.
Discord crashed. That's fine. Is this a good time for maybe a pee break?
Yeah, that's fine. If you would like to take a quick pee break, that is fine by me. I will mute up Discord for a minute, and we'll be back in about 5.
All right.
Good stuff. Gamers, BR.
BRB, thank you all for being here. I love and appreciate all of y'all, and we will be back in a moment. Alright, folks, thank you for waiting. We are back online.
Well, I've tethered my mobile data to my computer, so that's really cool.
Have you been
Hey,
having
folks.
issues with that lately?
Yes. Yes, we have. And we just got new, updated internet, and it's still fucking horrific.
We love that.
That's so annoying.
We love that. I am so sorry you're dealing with that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to edit the player's command, because I made it before Crub's character name was what it is.
As name? Please keep it like that.
Name pending.
So I can't watch the stream because it's not working.
No
So,
problem. Let me just
Hi chat, I love you, but I can't talk to you.
there we go. And CrubTV as, unfortunately, God bless you.
God bless you.
My lord.
Yeah.
So-
Sorry chat, I can't see you, but I love you.
Picking up where we left off, night has fallen. There is a plan in mind. What would you like to do?
Poisoning the food is kind of like what part of the first plan we had, so I'm all for that. Whatever else is just it's just improv. Any good shenanigans need some improv. The spice of life.
Yeah, I'm always willing to put myself in danger for the greater good, and by the greater good, I mean the opportunity for a coin. So I'm down to go if you guys are cool with it. I mean, I'll probably end up over there.
So, on a scale from 1 to 10, how sneaky would you consider yourself? Because I can't sneak in my current state of my heavier armor, so it's either you or it's basically just you. I'm not going over there.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give myself like a 15.
Wow, that's confident. I got no words.
I can also be kind of sneaky. So, but I'll let you do. Are you okay? Please confirm with me. You're just going to put roast meat in the stew.
In one way or another, absolutely.
Oh no!
I feel so. I've never felt
I did
so
eat
little
some of
proud
that
in my
earlier.
life. Okay. Well, okay. Whatever else you might do, can you at least put some of the meat in the stew?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I could look. We'll make our own stew.
Sweet Jesus.
Lots of ingredients.
But okay, clarify. Put meat in the stew. Put the chunks of meat that we have in the stew. Whatever else you do, I don't want to know about it.
Oh, of course, you don't have to watch. The only thing is, if you hear me start screaming, just light the little torch thing, if you could, so that way I don't, get my insides torn apart. I don't want it to happen like that.
So
I won't. I promise. But
Oh no, Goblussi confirmed into pegging.
So
It's canon.
what you do have to consider is that is a Goliath-sized pot that you're dealing with. You're gonna have to climb up a boiling hot pot to complete this action that you're planning to do, unless you want to throw the meat in there. I mean,
Well, I don't know about y'all, but that's what I was thinking. Is I was just hoping that Poe could throw the old levitation on me so I can get above the pot.
I only get so many things I can do a day. And assisting you in shitting in a soup pot doesn't feel worth it to me.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
put
on the
meat in there
fence
for
about
you,
it.
too. I'll put the meat in there for you too.
But also, okay. Also, please consider that you will be hanging upside down by your foot. So you are just going to shit all over yourself.
It's all right. It's happened before. I used to work at the circus. I work with bullworms, and I work with giant bears. I'm used to be covered in shit. It'll be fine. So it'll get on me a little bit.
If I help you shit in the pot, will you be more helpful later?
Absolutely. I can help y'all with whatever you need.
You'll get this out of your system? Okay.
Literally
and figuratively.
Okay, I have one concern. Who's gonna continue to
I have
eat the
so
soup?
many. You only have one? You only have one?
The top one. My top concern is, who's gonna eat the stew to begin with? If it, it's kind of there and apparent. I don't know. They're just gonna look at it. It's gonna be like, no,
It's just a big brown glob of stew. I mean, I don't think they'll notice. I'll keep it. I'll be honest with you. They ain't the brightest. I've heard of the big fellas ain't the brightest in the bunch. I think we'll be all right.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Okay, you know what? I hate myself, but I'm just gonna do it.
So how far away can you catch the funny floaty spell?
From I just use a little rope on the ground, and then you step in it, and up you go.
So, to be clear, it takes 1 minute to cast this spell. You place the rope on the ground, you take 1 minute to cast the spell, and once the spell is cast, the first thing that steps on the rope is yanked into the air and hovers 5 feet up there by the ankle.
So I can carry the rope with me and put it down, right?
Theoretically, but Poke still has to be the one to touch it, and it does take a whole minute to cast. So you would to do this, you would have to be at the soup pot for an entire minute to prepare the rope before any shitting can happen.
So Poke, you're coming with me. Don't worry.
There's pre-shit prep, yes.
Oh lord.
There. You have to come with me, but I'll let you get out of the area before I drop trout. I'm not. I behave well in front of ladies. Don't worry.
If I'm anywhere near you, I will kill you.
1 sec, poop repping.
Yeah, don't worry. We better get going though, because I'm bubbling.
So.
So, with a heavy heart, Poke is going to stealth towards the soup pot.
Along with me.
So, ladies, gentlemen, and those of us who know better. The goblin town of Peacegreen was established in the one and only safe place in the Krenashi Badlands, an expansive, uninhabitable wasteland made of savanna and desert. 30 years ago, 3 new generations of goblins have been born and raised there in peace, safe from the sandworms, the elementals and the peritons that wander the Badlands. They've lived in happiness, being blessed by the bounty of the valley, until recently, when a Goliath outpost was settled somewhere near the village. If the Goliaths find the goblins living in Peacegreen, they will obliterate the goblins entirely. They will exterminate them as a pest race, and enslave those that they do not kill. The 3 greatest hunter, tracker, and fighters of Peacegreen have ventured out in an effort to scare away the Goliath invaders, so that the goblin town is never found, and the Goliaths don't settle here. They are protecting their homeland and everything they have ever known and loved. And currently, they are doing so by setting a trap for the Goliath caravan heading toward the settlement that will lure them between the nest of a giant sandworm and a hive of Ankeg, surrounding them by flames of oil. But before that, GarbageGhostie has taken it upon himself to poison the Goliath caravan with sandworm meat, known to contain a paralyzing poison, and his own special brew. of goblin shit. Together, GarbageGhostie and Poke make their way toward the Goliath encampment, where there are 80 Goliaths and a handful of dwarves milling about a campsite, setting up tents, brewing their stew for the night, waiting hand and foot on the dwarves. This plan hinges on Poke being able to maintain stealth, to hide from the Goliaths and the dwarves for a full 60 seconds while casting this spell on a piece of rope at the pot's foot. Only then will GarbageGhostie be lifted 5 feet into the air in order to perform an act of acrobatic brilliance to shit in the stew without shitting down his own back. Can he do it? In order to find out, I'm gonna need Poke and GarbageGhostie to give me stealth checks.
Oh, God.
Oh shit.
Oh shit? 1 sec shitting.
1 sec. I'm shitting.
It was all going so well.
So let's one rip.
It was all going so well. Poke managed to sneak into the heart of the campsite, obscured completely by the darkness. Poke laid the rope out on the ground in an expert noose and began casting her spell. And GarbageGhostie, as he crept toward the center of the campsite, doing his best to maintain stealth, began to turtle. Is it possible to slowly and methodically creep through a campsite in this kind of situation? Somehow, and I would like to thank Glitter Kitty. I think you should all thank Glitter Kitty for imposing disadvantage on what would have been a natural 20. Can we just take a moment to thank Glitter Kitty for turning that natural 20 into a 2?
Glitter Kitty, you're a legend.
As GarbageGhostie lets out the most titanic goblin fart at exactly the moment that one of the Goliath soldiers cracks a joke and all the Goliaths around him burst into raucous laughter that covers the sound. The two of you have made it to the pot. Poke has had the opportunity to cast her spell, and with a heroic step, if you can use heroic to describe the actions taking place, GarbageGhostie plants his foot in the noose and is yanked upside down in the air by an ankle. GarbageGhostie, your time has come. The moment to shid and fard is now. But in order to do this, you must roll an acrobatics check to avoid shitting down your own back.
Can I also make a roll after the acrobatics check for how heinous the shit is gonna be?
I will allow it. That will be Constitution.
Okay, fantastic. All right, you said
You
said
performance
acrobatics.
check?
Oh lord. 1 sec
All right,
performing.
Acrobatics, here we go. Acrobatics.
I perform.
Ladies, gentlemen, and those of us who know better, that is a natural 20 on the shid check. That is a natural 20. As Goblusy grabs his own ankle, seizing the weight of the trap, and pulls himself up into a victory pose, and unleashes the most heinous goblin dookie you have ever dreamed. Give me a constitution roll to see how much of this is liquid.
Should I use advantage? Because
You should,
someone
yes.
redeemed it? Okay. Constitution. Here we go. 2 and
Now, this check actually works in reverse. You want the lower score, and you have rolled a natural 1 on Constitution.
Oh my god.
Folks, not only has Goblusy pulled himself up into a hero's pose, but he has unleashed what is categorically, indisputably, the most heinous goblin shit ever to grace this land. It is liquid enough to immediately mix into the stew. The chunks are perfectly cubed, masquerading as beef, and the stench, my god, it is aromatic. Folks, this is what you wanted. This is where this session went. I'm leaning into it. You can't stop me. It is rich. The scent is rich and heady. It is flavorful and full-bodied. And as Poke dismantles the spell, Goblusy dismounts elegantly from the snare trap and lands in a superhero landing. Pants down and lets out the tiniest, most high-pitched victory toot. You have somehow succeeded in this horrible mission. And now you must sneak out of the camp before you're discovered.
is that a stealth check?
That is a stealth check. But I am going to give you both advantage on this as you make your way out of the camp, simply because that performance was phenomenal.
Oh shit.
Are you sweating?
Did you? Did you happen to throw any of the meat in the stew or no?
Let's just say yes.
Oh shit. I'm gonna toss one in there from
Sweet Jesus. Oh my god. And Fezraptor, you have redeemed loot. Is there any particular item you would like the goblins to find? If there's any particular common or
paper.
mundane item, by all means.
Toilet paper.
I just...
Or, a little wet wipe.
I got a little bit of residue left over.
Everybody's saying toilet paper.
They're gonna track my smell if I don't wipe it up.
Whoa.
In a world where toilet paper previously did not exist, you happen to find the temporary latrine that has been set up by the Goliaths. And while they don't have toilet paper per se, there are buckets of water in there with a pile of disposable rags for this purpose. And so you are able to wipe a little aloe, just in case that dried you out at all. And with a natural 20 from Poke and a total of 20 from Goblusy, somehow the two of you manage to make it out of the camp unseen, undetected, and back to your rocky outcrop. Despite all odds, somehow, the two of you have succeeded in this bizarre and heinous mission. And you return to Zaz, who I'm expecting could not bear to watch and yet could not look away.
I have not blinked until you guys got back.
What does Poke have to roll in order to not have nightmares tonight?
There's no roll high enough for that.
I told y'all it'd work.
I'm honestly at a loss of words. I have nothing to say. I would be clapping if it. I believe it. What do we do now? I just look at him searchingly as if he has all the answers for tonight.
I believe I believe the term is shit and wait. I mean sit and wait.
Oh. See,
when do we do part 2 of this plan? Like phase 2, you know?
that's what I don't understand.
Well, here's the deal. So we didn't have to waste the oil last night, right? Or tonight. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wait. We're gonna see the reaction. I don't think it'll be good. And then tomorrow, when they're all shitting and farting, what we're gonna do is we're gonna ignite that oil. We're gonna get they're gonna be on the toe. We're literally gonna catch them with their pants down. That's gonna scare more of the shit out of them, and they ain't never coming back here.
Well, what I'm thinking is, like, at least some of them are gonna be sick, right? So maybe they'll catch up later and they'll stay behind, and then the other ones are gonna go for it, and then we can trap them between the two critters, and then we got all the birds with the one stone because some of them are going back telling the story, and then we got the spicy action with the oil and everything, and I guess we can watch from here at a safe distance. You know, it's a win-win.
Yeah, we're gonna hit them with all 4 horsemen, right? We already got them with plague and famine. Now we gotta go for war and well, actually no, we got plague, famine, and yeah, we gotta go for war and death now. So the explosion's gonna ignite the war between them and the worms and the ant things, and then that leads to death. I think we hit them with all 4 horsemen, and we got ourselves a good deal here.
You know what? I didn't think all these plans could meld together so well, but you know, me and Bark are convinced it's a done deal. Well, I'm gonna sit watch and see if it actually like unfolds, though. You know,
as time
It's
goes
just
on,
going to be petting Prod to comfort herself after what she has just seen.
one does not simply witness the Goblusy Dookie and live to tell the tale without at least a little damage.
Psychic damage?
Psychic damage. As time goes on that night, the Goliaths finish setting up their camp, the dwarves finish being pampered, and the stew is served. One thing you notice is that the higher ups, the dwarves and their closest servants, as well as some of the more important looking Goliaths, are not eating this paltry stew. They are instead eating fresh roasted meats that are brought out later, and bread. However, the workers, who are used to being treated poorly and eating stuff that one might say tastes like shit, gather around the stew pot and begin to eat.
I just put a hand on my forehead. I can't freaking watch. This is gonna be like a train wreck or something. Oh god.
And then one spoonful in, one of the Goliaths stands up and hurls his bowl at the Goliath wearing an apron who had done the cooking. You hear bellows and shouts breaking out as a number of the Goliaths begin screaming at one another. The first one jumps on top of the chef and begins laying into him. And the chef, with no other ideas, reaches out for the nearest weapon. It happens to be the handle of the soup pot. And swings it against the first Goliath's head. A terrible fight breaks out where the Goliaths are now free-for-all fighting. Until the dwarven woman stands up, her beard braided into the shape and colors of the Krenheim Alliance flag, and slams her staff on the ground, and you see lightning in a circle radiate out from her. Her voice booms, and while none of you understand dwarven speech, you hear her voice echoing across the plains. Cardone emma Italia, Forante Coronda! And all of the Goliaths fall into line. She walks across the pot, stands it back up on the fire, and takes a ladle. And she drinks a deep mouthful of the stew.
I cringe.
Then slams the ladle back in, points at the pot. Caronda! Emor Canari! Kirama! And the Goliaths sit the fuck down and continue eating as they have been instructed. The noblewoman.
Oh, that one, Master Chef.
The noblewoman rolls her eyes and heads back over to the noble encampment, where she promptly punches herself in the stomach and regurgitates the stew. Mutters something under her breath and then continues to feast on wine and bread and cheese, roasted meats and fruit. The Goliaths have been told you will eat what you're served. I can't believe you've done this. Just Ghostie and I at the same time, like, what have you done?
Well, I guess they're eating it.
Do you think that sound woke up the worm?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Maybe
appear
we ought to
have
take a
woken
look.
up. It doesn't
You think
appear to have woken up the worm, but you can't be certain.
We got so them wealthy motherfuckers out there. They rely on those workers to get them moving. So I say we just wait it out. We see what the stew does to them, because they're slurping it down now. And after that, we can kind of go from there.
Oh, I saw Crisis.
The visage of dread on my face watching these Goliaths consume this hell soup.
In-game and IRL, I imagine?
Yes.
Same.
Oh my god.
Oh my lord. So the three of you are able to get a long rest as you enjoy the rest of your night. The desert is warm even at night, which is strange because deserts normally plunge into frigid temperatures. And it takes you a while to realize that this is Baga's blessing. You're not only protected from the heat, but you're protected from the frigid cold of the desert night. And as morning stirs around, you are woken not by the sunlight, not by the sounds of the birds of Peacegreen, not by the warmth of the day, but instead by the sound of screaming and vomiting. It's well before dawn when the side effects of last night's meal begin to hit and the camp is thrown into absolute chaos. Goliaths are normally pale, but today they are stark white. And they are fighting each other to get to the meager 2 latrines that exist in the camp. What you see is a horror story unfolding. These Goliaths have a full-blown case of the twirls.
You know, I never understood the saying of I would never wish this upon even my worst enemies, but now I'm looking at this and I can feel it.
Pretty good, ain't it?
I don't think anyone deserved this.
I don't think anything would warrant this. This is horrible.
And
I
finally,
don't.
sorry.
No.
There's a
Go ahead.
There's a special hells. There's a special hell dimension reserved especially for Goblins for this.
I'm willing to go.
God bless you. You have gone above and beyond goblinry I have witnessed in my life at this point. I have to hand it to you. Honestly.
Thank you. I'm very proud of my goblinness.
I'm mortified. So, as the morning goes on, the dwarves are woken by the sound of the, as Grim called it a moment ago, scrummeting. Sorry, that was Nat, not Grim. Nat, hi, welcome in. It's horrendous. It's just horrendous, and the dwarves are having none of it. They begin to bellow and scream at the Goliaths. And after a few moments, the Goliaths who are not impacted begin to unroll a new tent. It looks like a hospital tent, a medical tent. And they start to organize the sick Goliaths into there. Out of the 60 or so Goliaths that ate the stew, at least 10 of them are rendered completely unable to travel. The rest are rendered unwilling, but with a few firm words from the dwarven woman, they begin to saddle up their carts and get ready to travel. You're not sure what has been said to the remaining Goliaths, but reading the body language of the dwarven woman, who pointed toward the flags heading deeper into the desert, toward the Ankeg nest, you believe she has told them, the moment you feel better, you catch up. And leaving 10 Goliaths behind, they begin to head forward. It's not long before they pass your hidden rocky outcrop. The carriage wheels creak as they make their way past, and the three of you hide within the rocks. Sand has blown across the oil trail, so it's covered but still present. And these hapless Goliaths and dwarves travel deeper and deeper into your trap. They reach the final flag at the center of your ring of oil, and they grind to a halt. They cannot see the next flag because there isn't one. And the entire caravan has stopped dead in the center of your circle of oil.
Oh, can I take the wand and just fire off, like, however many charges that are on this stick off in the direction of the trail?
7 beams of blue light fly out toward the start of the trail. And one after the next, they explode, sending sparks in every color of the rainbow. It's beautiful. The crackling is so satisfying to hear. And as the sparks collide with the ground, a raging inferno lifts from the sand. The flames trail down the fuse until they hit the beginning of the ring of fire. And suddenly, the Goliaths and the dwarves are trapped in a 15-foot high wall of flames, completely encircling them, nowhere to go. And as they begin to scream and shout, the horses rearing up and knocking over carriages. There's a moment of stillness in the desert before you hear insectoid shrieking sounds and a low, distant rumbling. The Ankeg emerge from the sinkhole, peering around with beady, giant black eyes. And the soil begins to raise as something beneath the surface snakes its way toward the trap. What happens next can only be described as a massacre. Goliaths, desperate to escape, run out through the wall of flame. The dwarves raise their staffs and begin hurling lightning bolts and fireballs at the sandworm. But even as he casts chain lightning down the body of this worm, the dwarven man is scooped up inside the sandworm's rows and rows of circular mouths, serrated teeth shredding his body as he is swallowed whole. The horses are snapped into pieces by the Ankeg, and as all of this is happening, the sky is growing dark gray with thick, full clouds, and a burst of thunder, a flash of lightning, signifies the beginning of a thunderstorm. A sudden change in the weather that will turn these savanna plains into dangerous mud flats any minute. The sick Goliaths can hear the screams in the distance. They can hear their brethren being torn limb from limb and devoured, and terrified they dare not move as they watch the scene unfold before them. The two dwarven mages killed instantly. The Ankeg spitting acid on the bodies of Goliaths and feeding on their organs as they liquefy. Horses made into little more than melted meat and bone. And as the flames spread, as the rainwater carries the oil across the top of the mudflats, the flames begin to consume the carriages too. All of the supplies and rations sent with the caravan. And all that is left behind are 8 sick Goliaths in their medical tent and 2 healthy Goliaths left to watch over them. You have obliterated a force of 70 Goliaths and 2 dwarven casters without so much as pulling a blade.
Huh.
Now that's what I call a WMD.
You wanna, after all this, like, see if there's anything left, or, Hey,
Yeah, before them other Goliaths get up here, I did promise Rat at least 3 of those weapons. So I imagine some of them's left over where them Goliaths got eat up. We should wait, obviously, until the sandworm or the worm and the bugs, the ant bugs, get out of there. But I'm trying to get some loot.
I'd rather check their camp for those. Seems
Well,
less...
they still got them. They still got 2 of them. The big doctors back there. That seem to be all right. So I'm a little nervous about that.
So this is just the caravan, but they do still have their settlement in the ruins. These Goliaths and dwarves were heading there to help set up, but there are still going to be some Goliaths at the construction site where the settlement is going to be erected. These survivors will certainly tell the Goliaths of the dangers that they faced and the horrible massacre they witnessed. But you still need to find a way to drive the Goliaths away from their construction site near Peacegreen.
Yes. We gotta go over there.
Yeah. You think that worm ate those magical staves?
As you look over toward what was a massacre site moments ago, there is only more horror to behold.
Oh.
As the Ankegs swarm over the purple worm, biting into its skin and spreading acid across its body. And the purple worm burrows beneath the ground and emerges, swallowing entire groups of Ankeg all at once. The destruction around them is unbelievable. And as they thrash about in the sand, a sinkhole begins to form where the Ring of Fire was, dragging carriages and corpses beneath the sand. As the rain begins to pound more and more heavily, the ground is turning into mud, the sand is becoming thick and heavy, and the sandworm is making its way for the Ankeg's nest. You watch as it dives into the sinkhole there, and vanishes into the ruins of an old Goliath city, ready to feast on the entire nest or become food for the Ankeg itself. But that is not your fight. What is left of the camp, or left of the caravan, I should say, is a handful of weapons strewn across the ground. Broken carriages, corpses, bones, and melted flesh. And one of the staves is left sticking up out of the sand. Should you dare approach.
Every time Zaz's trying to talk, like trying to raise a finger, but he just can't. He's just trying to think of like 20 things to say at once. Just okay. Idea.
Okay, go for it.
This is probably really stupid. Let me preface this. But the worm isn't there at the nest anymore, right? And it chases its eggs, so why don't we just leave the egg at the construction site after we steal the staff, and then we can call it a day? You know, if we're really fast about it, we can get our mounts and use their strength together, like tie a few ropes to it and drag it along, and then we'll just leave it outside, you know, out of sight one night, and then we'll have a staff, and we can grab some weapons, and then we wouldn't even have to do a single thing. That's it. Bada bing. It's busy right now. This is the time. This is it. This is the time frame. I expand my hands away from each other. There's only so much time. It's free real estate.
I'm not. It is stupid, but it's kind of what I was thinking too. So
I think that is a great idea.
So that confirms that it's stupid, but I think we're gonna do it anyways.
All right, I'll get the rope, and we'll go. All right.
Yeah! Hey, the only thing I ask is, can I ride that egg as we pull it along?
Sure.
Hell yeah!
In a matter of minutes, you're able to get Poke and Bark, I believe your wolf was named?
Yep.
You're able to get Poke and Bark. Prod and Bark over to the egg. Lace some rope between the two of them around one of the eggs, and it is done. The egg is consistent of a thick membrane. It's not hard-shelled like you would expect. It is rubbery, and as you tie the ropes around it, it squishes inward, becoming almost like an 8 shape around the rope. And it is just soft enough that as GarbageGhostie sits atop, he sinks in, the folds of the egg becoming natural arm rests. He is sitting in a beanbag chair made of squishy worm baby. and you can see an infant sandworm beginning to form inside the egg.
Hey, this shit's kind of nice. I got an idea for a business model once we done.
Could we grab the staff on the way over too, like while we're zooming by?
You certainly can. As you begin to rush forward, Bark and Prod pulling the egg behind them, leaving a trail of viscous goo behind where the egg has traveled, and a scent you can only describe as rotting lemons, heavily salted, and mixed with fish oil.
I'm gonna smell like shit after this one.
Yeah, we're
That's
gonna need
alright,
that
though.
trail, by the way. Don't cover that.
Says-
We're gonna need that for when the worm coming to find it. So, whatever.
You snatch the staff from the ground, and as you pass by, an enormous pair of mandibles erupt from the earth at your feet. Coming straight for the back of Bark. You have a half a second to react to this. What will you do?
I point the staff at it.
You gonna point the staff at it and let go of
Yes.
whatever's in there?
Yes.
As you let whatever energy is within the staff through, one of 3 runes on the staff's base that glow red goes out. You get the impression the staff only has 3 charges, and you have just used one. What you unleash is horror itself. As the first explosion covers the face of the Ankeg, it screeches and reels back, but it doesn't stop there. The staff trembles. You are grasping onto it as hard as you can, aiming it back toward the Ankeg as a second explosion goes off. A third, fourth, fifth, 7 explosions in a chain, one after the other, each one erupting exactly where the Ankeg is as it runs towards you, and its body is burned away completely. You have acquired a staff of Firestorm. The Ankeg is obliterated as it pursues you. Its body is left blackened, red, and burning, upside down, legs folding in and twitching. And the other Ankegs rush away from you and toward their nest, where the giant sandworm is still fighting and feasting. You get away clean. And thanks to the heavy rain, you can't see the medical tent anymore. There is no chance at all they can see you. You got out of this situation, somehow without being noticed. And now all that's left is to drop off this egg at the Goliath camp, and you will have successfully wiped out the entire Goliath population, all save for 10 devastated witnesses. Perfect time for the music to stop.
After that whole, split second event, I spin around and wave my hand in the general direction of the Goliath colony. Just go, go, go.
The Goliath colony, or the Goliath settlement, is still a day's travel away. And hauling the egg with you, you continue to leave a trail of viscous material behind you that reeks of lemon and salt and fish. But as you make your way through the desert, it becomes more and more apparent that the Ankegs could only possibly have entertained that sandworm for an hour, maybe 2. If you stop, even for a moment, you risk baiting it to your location. You need to get this egg through to the Goliath camp before the sandworm catches up to you, and you only have an hour or 2 lead.
All right, we're working overtime. We gotta sprint this one out. Anyone else with me? Hit and run. Just leave it and go. We don't.
We're going.
Bark and Prod are getting tired as they go. They're starting to run out of energy. Their feet are hurting from running against the heavy rain and the thick sludge of mud coming from the terrible storm above you. Thunder is crashing around you. Lightning flashes illuminating the savannah. And Zaz, as you look back behind you, using your spyglass, it's hard to see anything through the rain until lightning flashes and illuminates the enormous figure of a sandworm rushing towards you with the corner of a medical tent hanging from the side of its mouth. It's speeding through the desert, and it will catch up to you eventually. If you keep running, it will be on your tail as you get to the Goliath's site. But there's a chance the Goliaths will see you luring the sandworm there. What would you like to do?
I feel like them seeing us is not a problem at this point, because they're not going to be sure much longer than that.
Full speed ahead. We'll deal with any stragglers when we get there. I mean, I don't know. Desert's still haunted.
Run.
Whatever. It's just, let's go.
Run. We're running.
And as you
I've been
run,
asleep on the egg.
What's going on?
you wake
Go,
up.
Pussy! Wake up!
You wake up to the
Wake up!
tremendous rumbling of a sandworm gaining on you.
Oh, shit!
As you look back, a spiral of teeth in a wide open circular mouth is just rushing toward you, consuming sand and stone in its path.
I'm gonna get both hands on the egg now, like I'm riding a horse with a saddle. And, go!
And in the distance ahead of you, you can see the Goliath settlement. You see wooden structures halfway built. You see camp tents. You see, in a flash of lightning, a very tall dwarven man, short for anyone else, but tall for a dwarf, under an umbrella, barking directions as he holds a scroll, and a number of Goliath workers, and every single one of them turns, stops, and stares in abject horror as a goblin riding a giant ferret, a goblin riding a wolf, and a goblin riding an egg, pursued by the wide, ring-shaped maw of a sandworm, head directly for them.
Alright, I got an idea! Poke and Zaz, when we get a little closer, what you're gonna do is stop both your mounts and cut the rope on each side. Let that thing fly towards the camp and then delta split.
I was thinking the same thing, but why don't you just jump on one of our mounts and we'll just cut it while running. There's no time to stop.
I'm pretty acrobatic, as you saw back at the camp. So I'll just hop on off onto one of your mounts as we send that fucker straight at their camp. It's wet too, so it should go extra far when it slingshots.
I am mortified. But crisis management has just redeemed ensure success. Which grants you a natural 20 on your next roll. And so as you make your way toward the Goliath camp, this is what happens. In an expert motion, Goblussi jumps, lands in the egg, and uses it to trampoline himself into a swan dive, a somersault, and then a split to land flawlessly on Prod's back.
Can I also throw a little split twerk in there when I land?
You certainly can.
Absolutely.
At exactly the same moment, Poke and Zaz with their knives slash the rope. And as your mounts part ways, left and right, the egg rolls full force across the slick mud. It lands in the center of the Goliath outpost. And as you part left and right, forming a heart shape as you double back behind the giant worm, you leave the giant worm's egg at the center of the Goliath building site. And the 6 Goliaths and 1 dwarf who were there, they live only 1 or 2 minutes longer. You have slaughtered every single Goliath you came across. And Ghostie's internet has died again, it would appear, because there is 2 of me on the screen now. I cannot believe what has just occurred.
We just dropped the bomb.
The rest of this night passes. And you know that you have succeeded in your mission. A quick check back on the medical site reveals that 1 Goliath, just 1, survived. With a stick in hand to lean on as he walks, he begins to make his way back across the treacherous desert, across the seemingly endless dunes, back toward Kar Halar. A little bit of dookie running down the inside of his thigh. One survivor to tell the tale. And as the sun rises the next morning, you make your way back into the goblin city of Peacegreen, victorious. And much to my horror, ladies, gentlemen, and those of us who know better, that is mission complete.
Oh my god.
I shitted.
Oh.
We were just dropping bombs that entire campaign. That was great.
I have no words for what just happened. Unfortunately, the name GarbageGhostie will be engraved in history forevermore. But, I want the 3 of you to know, if you had failed this mission, Peacegreen would not exist in the campaign setting guide. But because of your actions here today, as edited as they may be when recorded in the annals of history, you've saved this place, and the goblin settlement of Peacegreen will exist in the campaign setting guide as the home you have saved. Thank you so much for playing with me today. You guys were fucking awesome, and you are now legends of Aurendesia. Holy dicks.
We did it, chat room.
Folks, can I get a round of clap in the chat, please? A round of clap. Sweet Jesus. Oh my lord. I am deceased. I am straight up, I am just deceased. Oh
Traumatized.
my god.
I don't know about the rest of you.
Actually traumatized.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
That was
The
incredible.
anal.
God.
You guys are amazing.
God bless you. Will go down in the
Thank you.
annals
Be
of
the best
history.
pirate I've ever seen.
Oh my
Surely.
god. Crisis, thank you for the worst pirate in history. And I have to find the thing that Grim said a minute ago because it's a crime for you to not see this. Where was it? Here we go. A scatastrophe of scataclysmic proportions.
Grim, how could you?
That's this mission.
Would you call that a pacifist ending? No!
General run.
I mean, we personally didn't kill anybody, but
Yeah, it's just like the U.S. military. We just, just
No!
remote control. Yeah.
Oh god. So, from here on out, Zaz is revered as an adventurer and archaeologist, using his staff of Firestorm as his symbol, becomes the greatest dungeon delver in Peacegreen's history. Poke and Prod become renowned hunters, capable of fighting and hunting any beast the Badlands has to offer. And Goblusy, much to no one's surprise but everyone's horror, goes back out into the desert in search of those eggs. Finds a caravan to take him to safety, and does actually manage to set himself up in Karhalar as an underground merchant working for the dark underbelly of the rogue and thieves guilds. Goblusy becomes one of Karhalar's best black market merchants. He's tremendous.
I thought he was gonna go back into the desert and get eaten by a sandworm trying to get one of those eggs. So this is a better ending for him than I expected.
Don't get me wrong, the sandworm does pursue him, but Goblusy makes it over the border first. Holy shit.
Oh shit.
So,
oh god.
folks, that is it for Session 1, Episode 1 of Legends of Aurendesia. I want to thank everybody. First of all, thank you all for being here and for playing. You guys were actually amazing. I'm going to throw an exclamation point players into the chat one more time so that anybody who is here can go and follow these 3 amazing friends of mine. I am also going to put in a LOA so that you know what this was and what to expect going forward. We will have a whole new cast of players and characters 1 fortnight from today, roughly. It'll take place on different days depending on time zones, but just follow the Twitter and the Discord for updates and you'll be on top of it. And we are going to find someone to raid into. Now, let's take a look. I think I know who I want to raid. But I'm just going to take
Before
a
you
quick
leave,
look.
TC, thank you. Thank you for having us and setting this
Yeah,
up.
thank you so
Great.
much.
Thank you.
You are
Clap for
so
DM.
welcome.
That was a blast. It was a blast. Thank you for dealing with the shenanigans and making it work perfectly. I appreciate you.
Look, you are so welcome. This was actually a delight. My stomach hurts from laughing. I am deceased. So, all right, we got 3 people here. We got 3 people here who we could potentially raid. I'm gonna put it up to the 3 of you. The 3 of you. We have Bizarro Longy. We have Super Cool, and we have Joel.
Joel.
Oh, literally
You know
flip
who-
a coin. I can't choose
It's-
between those 3.
I mean, you know who I would pick.
I do.
So.
Krubby, it comes down to you.
God, I literally can't pick.
All
I literally can't pick.
right, I'm gonna roll for it.
Can you roll?
I'm gonna roll for it. Let's roll a d6. Alright. Wait. I'm an idiot.
Did you not decide before you rolled?
Yeah. So it'll go Longy Soup Joel, Longy Soup Joel.
Okay.
That's Longy.
It is.
That's Longy.
Hey!
Folks, we are going to raid Bizarro Longy. We are going to bring everybody in there to hang out with him. Raid command isn't going to work if I type it into the Roll20 chat. That's not how things work here. We are... Is Bizarro Longy just one word? It is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. We are going to raid Bizarro Longy. And I'm gonna give y'all a raid message that I think is most appropriate for today, which is he shit in the soup.
All right, and remember, guys, when you get over there, please double-click the profile picture to count as a real viewer, because Twitch hates us.
It's true.
Yes.
So, folks, go ahead and grab that raid message. Make sure that you click in to count as a real viewer. Make sure you drop a host, drop a follow. You're gonna love this guy. Bizarro Longy is one of our best friends, and we absolutely adore him. So I'm going to pass you all over to him, and one last time, thank you so much, guys, for playing. You'll have a wonderful day, wonderful night. You take care of yourselves, and I will hang out in the VC after this is all done, just because I decompress after D&D, and that's what I do. I will catch all y'all there, or if not, I'll see you when I see you next.